That was quick.
Yeah.
Wasn't it though?
Yeah.
I'm used to having a chance to run to the bathroom one more time on Foxy's.
Well, you can go anytime you need to.
Because her intro is nice and long. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to go. Let me go run. I got time.
Yeah, I'm working on a longer one.
Hi everybody, this is us.
Yeah, same old, same old.
And as y'all see, Jimmy's a no-show, which I kind of figured he'd be scared.
He gets beat up quite a bit.
Yeah, he does take quite a few beatings.
Yeah, but there's nobody better that I'd rather do it to.
That's true.
Yeah,
I do love.
because
I
he
love
dishes it.
Jimmy though. Yeah, I
He
love
dishes
Jimmy.
it right back out.
He's fun, and he takes it like a trooper, and he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm just glad we get him up here every now and then.
Yeah, and I hope he's feeling okay and all that good stuff, because you never know. I heard him say recently he just gotten out of the hospital in a chat somewhere, and so life gets hard when
Yeah,
you have medical issues. Trust me, I know all about them.
boy, don't I know it.
And how are y'all doing tonight?
Staying warm, trying to anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Curtis, how did your visit go with your son?
That was a blast.
Oh, he made it there?
Oh yeah, he made it here. He's got a truck just like mine. He's got a Ram 4-wheel drives.
Wow.
He
A
was here,
10 hour drive. Oof.
he was here for about 24 hours and he turned around and drove back.
Whew. Well, young people can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, well that would have took
Giving-
me I would have taken a week off to go do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It used to be I could work all day, get in the car, and we could fly down to Jacksonville, Florida, get 2 hours sleep, and get up in the next morning when everybody else popped up.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
No.
No, we were talking about that last night about that show in San Antonio and I'm already looking at it like,
Hmm.
boy, that's going to be a rough day. Twice. Down there and then coming back. It's 10 and a half hours with no stops for me.
It's about that for us to go to the Clash, one way, because there's three of us. So with a kid and the two old people, we have to make stops, and so by the time you get there, you are wore out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
and this year we hope to get there early. Last year we get there 10, 11 o'clock. It's late, so you don't get to do much, but pretty much find something to eat and then go to sleep. Well, this time we're timing it where we can get up on the road at 4:30
Mhm.
in the morning. That way we can be DC stuff. And I've missed the Zen Ginger saying hi. I didn't see her. I
Can't
didn't see her. She snuck in here on me. But that way we can get there like it. I'm hoping, you never know about the traffic. I knocked on real wood at like 3 o'clock. That way, yeah, I can go and mind everybody's business that I can get to, and then go out and have a nice sit down meal, and then, have plenty of time to chit chat and catch up with everybody, and then go to sleep.
Yeah, so you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
And we don't leave until the Monday after. That way we can hang around with folks all day long Sunday, the ones that are still there, go out to eat again. Apparently, I like to go out to eat and then get up Monday morning and come on home. So now we're not beat down.
Yeah.
That's our plans.
That's kind of what I'm planning. I'm going to get to San Antonio on like Wednesday and I'm coming back Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're working, you don't have that luxury. You have to squeeze it in like 2 or 3 days, and you just have to. But this is one of the benefits of retirement.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have a doctor's appointment in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So, You know, them damn doctors, they like to schedule you at the most inappropriate times in your life.
Yeah, and sometimes you kind of get them out of bed and come visit you in the hospital too.
I've had that happen.
Me too, for 5 times last week.
Man. Well, I hope everything works out good for you.
Well, yet to be seen. But we'll see.
Yeah. I got you.
That's all right. I'm working enough hours for both of you, so don't worry about it.
Oh, so you still have plenty of money.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Does your assistant ever come back and get back to work?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Got him all healed up then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For him being 30 years younger than me, he seems to have problems getting injured and not being able to come to work. I told him, you can't be 30 years old playing soccer with 16-year-olds. It just don't work.
No, the body don't heal like it used to.
Yeah.
You know, but in the brain, he still thinks he can.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
I still think I'm 40-ish.
I give him about till spring, and he'll do it again. He'll be out there playing, which, good for him.
Yeah, mine still says I'm 30. My body says screw around and find out.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite sayings.
Yeah.
And I love it when somebody does.
Yeah.
Especially a Karen.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why you don't go on YouTube or Instagram and type those 4 letters in. And
Oh boy.
sit there and watch reels for about 10 hours.
Yeah, you can waste 3-4 hours of your life in one setting. And then like,
easily.
I should have done this. I should have done. And I catch myself doing it too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure y'all have heard the latest thing going around.
What's that?
Maybe.
We're having a wedding at the class.
Oh yeah, we did hear that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm finally
Foxy
gonna get
and
that girl
Pevlin.
married off. I mean, my good friend is going to get married to her best love.
Yeah, I seen her little story she put up today of what did I get myself into.
Oh, I haven't seen it. That's what
Yep.
kind of friend I am. But truthfully, I was working on some stuff for her, so I guess I'll have to catch. I'm always behind. You would think a retired person would be up on everything. I am further behind now on catching up with stuff than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, that's because you got so much other stuff going on.
Maybe I need to fill up that drink, that glass behind me. Where's that thing at? Right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Then you won't care if you're behind.
Yeah, if you get a margarita every evening, you're good.
You know what that would do for me?
Sleep.
Pretty much. They're like, gosh, we ain't seen Didi in 3 or 4 weeks. Well, yeah. One is enough. 2, that's it. I am a cheap
3,
girl.
call the police.
I don't think I could hold 3. I maybe back in the day I could. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because 1, my legs don't work right. So 2, whoever is sitting beside me is stuck talking to me until they can get an excuse to walk away. You know, we're like, oh, I got to go check on my grandmother's neighbor's cat.
Yeah.
And because I can't walk, so I got to talk. And then, 2, I'm probably going to stretch out and go to sleep and snore wherever I'm at. That would be embarrassing.
That's no worse than Vibes. Vibes
like this.
Vibes has fell asleep on stream many a times.
Oh, he's not the only one. He's
I
not
have.
the only one by any means.
I have, but luckily Vibes and myself have each other's back. So if he does it, I take him off the screen so nobody can see it.
Well, that's what friends are for. But,
Yeah, the only bad thing is, and afterwards you got to wake him up.
I didn't even try last night. I just sent him a text message. When you wake up, shut the stream off.
that was so funny. A fellow that streams on Fridays, it's different time zones. So he was asleep. He fell asleep. And on some of the streams at night, they kept checking in. He was still there. He was just sleeping so sweetly. There weren't all that mouth, weren't all that. So he can be thankful for that at least. Even if he was embarrassed later when he found out he forgot to turn the stream off.
That's like some of them 24-hour streams. I don't know how some of them guys do it.
Well, back in the day, we had the 24-hour Christmas streams. Rico would host them. Of course, he would go to sleep and leave Steven and them in charge because they're young fellows. They can stay up half the night or all night, whatever. And
Corey used to do it too, and I think he did almost all of the 24 hours except for a little bit.
I don't know how he could without a nap. And remember Mike from Florida Fish Rescue? I think he did it one time trying to do a fundraiser, but it'd be rough. I don't think I could do it anymore. I used to stay up all night. It's so easy, not that way. About 4 o'clock, I'm about done. I'm toast, even if I'm moving around. But nowadays, about 9:30, I'm like fighting it.
Yep.
Well, my husband and I have different sleep cycles. He goes to sleep 7:30, 8 o'clock. And by 8:30, he's comatose for sure. But he gets up at 4:30 every day. He used to be a Marine. And it's set in him. And we worked at the prison. We had to get up at 3:30. So it's just, he doesn't set a clock. He didn't set a clock back then either. He could just wake up.
Yeah, naturals got used to sleeping that time. That's so used to it. My dad was the same way when he retired. He was in bed by 10 o'clock and he was up at 3 o'clock every morning. Like, you ain't got to be at work till 8. Well, I got to have more time to wake up and then get there, have breakfast, and then go clock in. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm awake, I'm awake. Like if I ever sleep, I can be out the door in 5 minutes. I don't have to wake up with coffee and all that. I never had to do that. But
yeah, that's how
I'm a night owl by nature, so I've had to fight to go to sleep early, and it takes me about 2 months to work that in because I've started getting up at 4:30 with him, and I can get more done in this fish room by 7 o'clock in the morning if I do that than if I sleep to 8:30, 9 o'clock. So,
how many tanks you got now, Didi?
About 30-ish, I guess, somewhere in that ballpark. I've let go of 4 or 5 of them.
You still got a lot of shrimp.
I have probably 10, 12 different kinds. And, my biggest tank's a 125, and then a 90, a 55, a 60 breeder, 2 40 breeders, 33 long, 3 29 highs. I got the 3 22s that I built of different weird size, a 17 and several 5, 5.5, whatever, these little Aqueon, everything inclusive type things.
Yeah, and them 22s, you can buy those bookshelf tanks, but holy crap, they're high for a 22 gallon.
Well, these I've made them to fit in a shelf that I already had.
Right.
So they figure out at 22 gallons, but if you look at them, they look like a shrunken down 40 breeder as far as depth and everything.
Right.
It almost, you think you're looking at a 40 breeder, but you're not. You're only looking at 22 gallons. But, and I've got a couple little ones, and I've got 5 14-gallon squares. And so it's still a lot, but as things die off, I'm not replacing them with something hard to keep. I'll just put a betta in it instead of more shrimp because, it's just, I don't have the time and I can't get as much done as I used to be able to do in the same amount of time. So I'm having to get simpler or either I end up losing too much by letting it go too long trying to catch it up. Because I have other stuff to do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of why I downsized so much. I couldn't keep up with it all.
I like to build stuff, and so I've been doing cabinetry and buying cabinets, and staining them, all that, and hanging them, and so I like doing handyman stuff. I was a tomboy growing up, and I just like that kind of stuff, and I like to sew too, But if I usually get cutting tools, drilling tools, those kinds of things for Christmas from my husband. If he doesn't buy me jewelry, so it's one or the other.
So Didi's the handy one at the house.
Yes, and I learned it from YouTube.
Yep.
And home and garden TV back in the day when they first came on, they taught you how to do drywall and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get me some drywall and some tape and some mud. I'm gonna slap something on the wall. And drywall is nasty and hard for you,
Yes, it is.
because it makes a mess. But it has to go up.
Especially all that sanding.
Yeah.
Well, you get pretty good with the mud after a while, so you don't have to sand.
Right.
That's the key to it, is get good with the mudding.
And the taping.
You will work yourself to death if you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I watched some of them guys out there at the hospital hanging drywall one time. That guy laying that mud tape in there, he'd skim that mud, just snap that tape in there and smooth over it, go back. Couldn't even totally tell it was there. So, once all that dries, all we got to do is go back with a wet sponge and just kind of, or damp sponge, and smooth it all over, and we're ready to go.
Now, I like to look at those little woodworking tip type, videos, and we're real craftsmen of the trade, where they can do this snap, 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 and it's done. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'd love to be able to do stuff like that, but you have to do it a long time.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. But yeah,
just like watching that New Yankee Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch him a lot. He was good.
Yeah, I don't know that I could never even. I don't even know if I could take notes for Norm as a secretary. He's above everything I've ever seen as far as just being able to just do everything. And I'm sure there's others just like him. But, back when that show was on, it was one of the few that you had a master carpenter out doing stuff.
Right.
And showing you.
Who is the guy that walked out every day into the woods to his cabin, and everything he used was old-time tools, no power tools?
Oh, I have.
Oh, I don't remember him.
He recently, the video I saw was where he made a wood shed out there with just boards that was basically laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was pretty good idea, because it's like, there was something, the way he did that, it's like, you know what, that's easy. I built a 12 by 20 shed with a, just a shed roof.
Mm-hmm.
But it stuck out like 2 feet over each side. So that was like 14 that way. And I used 2x6s for my rafters, and that thing was heavy. And I'd seen enough videos where they build, I did the platform and everything, then I built the whole one back wall. I thought, yeah, we'll lift that up, and then I can just hook it together, because it'll go faster that way, which, yes, it would. But Tony had just had back surgery, so he couldn't really help me. And so a whole row of I used 2x6s on the side studs too. So, I built it to stay around for a while. And we had to go get some boys to come over and help us, lift that up. It's like, that's the last big thing I ever built, because that was hard. It almost killed me. And a lot of times I'd be up there by myself trying to get a piece of plywood up. And, if you're on an angle, you got even more height, because it's off the ground.
Yep.
I built it off the ground because we have flood back here. So it had to be up on stilts, basically. And, it was a learning experience, and I got it all off of watching videos from YouTube. Just like when I built those tanks, I watched Steve. Well, I didn't watch Steve because he didn't film his, but I asked him questions. and I watched Joey build a bunch on DIY, and Tanner, Super Tanner. I watched his, and I just figured out what I needed from mine, and we have Stephen in our family where we can ask him a question and he'll answer, where you can't just ask other channels sometimes. Hey, I didn't mean to scare him off. Damn.
Yeah. I remember that name now. It's the New Yankee Workshop.
Get your ass back here, Alex.
That wasn't me.
Was Mike being funny?
Uh,
I think he had me too fast.
yeah.
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Nice to see you all. Didi, nice to see you.
Well, thanks for
It's
joining
good
us,
to talk to
Alex.
you. So, what you been up to?
Just a whole bunch of shopping today.
Oh,
Got all kinds of stuff. Got a bunch of plywood, and got a bunch of
yeah.
stuff to work, and yeah, I'm building some cabinets. I I wanted to do it last weekend, and then I kind of got rained out, and then this weekend I got snowed out. So really
Well, you came
hoping
to the
that-
right place.
Yeah, so hopefully this next weekend,
See, now Didi can come by and help you out because she knows how to do all that.
Look. And he's
there you
taught
go.
us something that I didn't even think about when I was doing all this, but he puts his fish tank stands on wheels.
Of
Can't
course.
get any better than that.
Jorge's
This one
done
won't
it
be on
too.
wheels.
Just got to make sure you move them every once in a while because even those solid wheels will get flat spots on.
Yep.
I'll start
Yeah.
shifting it over about a foot every time I do a water change.
I
See
learned
how
that the hard way.
Yeah, I did too. We built this big old rack for these vacuum pumps at work. That thing must weigh 1,500 pounds. It sat there, and the day I needed to use it, I had to go get a forklift because it would not roll.
I got one. My uncle passed away. I got his big old snap-on toolbox.
Mhm.
One of them, I mean, what, 84-inch big, the big one with top and bottom box.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
And
like
it
those
sat
big
in the same
snap-ons
place
too.
for probably 20 years.
That thing probably costs more than my car.
Yes, I don't know. I found the receipt on it, but yeah, it costs more than some people's houses. But
Mhm.
yeah, we had a hell of a time moving it because damn wheels flat spotted on one spot in one place.
Well,
Get it rolling.
I went on a wheel crazy thing at one time because
Oh, yeah?
this was back when you had the projection TVs and you could roll them out of the. Well, you don't know, Alex, you're too young, but Skull,
I
you
used
might
to have
remember it.
one. Come on.
But you had to move it, and I had hardwood floors from a 1941 house, so you have to move everything so you can clean underneath it and then roll it back and all that. And so I had a small 2-bedroom, like a cottage style house, and I had a queen size bed in that thing, which you don't have a lot of room on either side, no matter which way you put it in the room. So you have to kind of shove it out of the way to clean the floor over here. Then you shove it over here and you
Mhm.
clean the floor. I put that thing on roller wheels too.
Heck yeah.
That
It
could
was
get
a nice
interesting.
conversation piece for lots of people, but I could pull it out the way, and I kept storage totes underneath it, and you just pull it back. You got to do what you can because you got to get things done. And some stuff is daggone heavy. Now, I am strong for, old woman. I am pretty strong still, but, after a while, it's like if you can make it easy, you want it easy.
Yep.
Mhm. I just don't like having to rely on someone. Like anytime I want to move anything, I have to call friends or family, and I try to
Yeah.
be a little bit more self-sufficient.
Mhm.
Yeah, I moved a freezer by myself, and it just worked out that where it came from, it was used. Was able to slide it in the back of I still have it to this day as an S10 pickup. Tied it up, brought it home, and in that old house that I had, I could back all the way up to the stoop, which was a concrete stoop. I could
Mhm.
let my tailgate down, and it was the only difference was between that little teeny thing in between the tailgate not being flat, and so I could play, work it on there. Then I just tilted it. You learn rugs, upside down rugs are your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord knows if you get a
Towels.
hold of a pair of those moving straps, you could do anything. But back then in those days, I didn't have those. And sometimes I would have to take my feet on a wall and push it with my back to get something started. And usually once you got it going, you could keep going. Because, I didn't want to ask people like, hey, can you come over for 3 minutes worth of work?
Mm-hmm.
I just bribed the guys from work. I was like, hey, come on by. We'll have a beer. And while we're there, we're going to move this tank.
You don't tell them you're going to move anything. You just say, hey, come over for some beer and pizza. And then once they're there, you're like, oh, hey, while you're here, can you help me move this real quick? And they're like, sure. And then they see
You're
what
like,
it is.
Well, you don't get the beer and pizza unless you do. So
you're having a good time. You're like, oh gosh, y'all, while you're here, like it just came to you. You got to become an actress. Women have been being actresses our whole lives, probably for one reason or another. So you gotta learn to do that. It gets things done. It really does.
Yeah, I'm not going with it. What women
me either.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, it gets stuff accomplished.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Yes. Then you become the guy who makes you move stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it works both ways. I got two really good neighbors, one on each side, and those guys will come help me, but it comes back around.
Yeah.
Well, I pull up from work and they're like, hey, come here. I got something to show you. And yeah, that's not what they want to show you. They want you to grab your end.
See, and I agree with Stephen. Don't tell them it's coming. Don't tell them. Let them get there, and they just have to suck it up.
See, I'll go around and volunteer to help everybody I know move. Anytime they're moving, all my friends, they all know they can call me. They can rely on me to show up on time and help them move stuff. I'll even
But when
bring a
you need
dog.
them to help,
Yeah, and that's the thing. As soon as I need something, I'm like, hey, you remember when I helped you move this? My
I
turn.
gotta go mow my grass.
Yeah, I'll be over there as soon as I get through with my ice cream cone. And like Stan Pittman says, try being the only guy with a truck in the family. Yeah, that's why I bought my own truck, because I was always having to borrow. Get one of my friends to, help me go pick up a dresser or help me go do this. I'll get myself a truck.
You'll be the designated mover from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a truck most of my life.
I have 5 vehicles sitting outside. There's only one that's a car. I might have a problem.
Yeah, but it's a bug, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything else is a truck.
We have a car. It's a Corvette out there. That's Tony's. But I have an S10 pickup, and I have a Highlander SUV, and then we have a GMC, the big one, the 1500. So again, all travel. And we've gotten rid of everything else that was cars. And the only reason he has that Corvette is because that belonged to his son that got killed. So that'll stay here and fall apart in the yard before it goes anywhere. Yeah. But and we take it out about twice a year and ride 20 minutes in it. But he fires it up, and he'll go and take it down the road or something back. But we don't go in it that much because we can't carry all 3 of us.
Right.
So there's no back seat for the kid to get in. So we can't go as a family in it. It's like June. I don't like to ask for help either. I'm tickled to death to help you, but I don't want to have to ask you to help me. I'll get mine, you get yours, type thing.
Well, that's like me. I've got a trailer, and my brother's all the time borrowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't mind. I mean, he always brings it back, in better shape than when he borrowed it. So.
Well, the thing to do when he borrows it, make sure it's loaded up for stuff for the trash. And
I've done that.
To make the dumpster run.
I've done that.
And that way, he helps you and it helps him. So it's a win-win.
Like 2 weeks ago, before he went back out to Haines, Kansas, he called me and said, I need to come get the trailer. Well, it's loaded full of stuff. You'll have to get rid of it. Oh, that's fine. Okay, come get it. You know where it is.
My dad's
we
like
gotta go ahead.
I was just saying, my dad's like the opposite because he built up this trailer that he like garage sailed it and then like built it up like really nice, replaced all the bearings and everything. And whenever anyone needs anything, he's like, "Well, I'll bring the trailer," and he just wants to use it. He's like eager to help. He just wants to show off all the handiwork he's done on it.
Right.
And then, yeah, you have something heavy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this big axle can totally handle the weight on that. I put that in," and he'll just like talk about all the stuff he did on it.
We've got a cool new toy.
Uh-oh.
What'd you get?
My
I'm
husband
scared to
got
ask.
one of those little tractors with the backhoe shovel thing and a scoop thing on it.
Like a skid steer?
No, like a regular backhoe.
With a bucket, and then it has a little backhoe thing on the back.
Ooh.
I can't wait we can go out there and dig some ditches in the woods.
Didi will be out there digging her a big old pond.
Well, he said he was going to build me one, but I'm scared of the daggone water moccasins. We're a swamp is in our backyard. Our woods are on swamp that we.
Well, ain't nothing a 22 can't take care of.
If I was to stick my hand down there to pull out a plant, and a daggone snake even just slides by my arm, those fish will never see me again. I can't do it.
What eats water moccasins?
I don't know. I was told that the black racers that we have will kill off other snakes. So we have decided we let the black racers stay around for 2 years now. And they're scaring me to death. They're under the hot tub. They're under the front porch step. It's like you walk out and you're like scared to death.
I haven't seen black racers right there. We didn't have the black ones around here. We had the blue ones, but I remember them when I was a kid. You'd come up on them things and take off, and they'd start after you.
Yeah, they're fast too, and
yeah, they are.
You don't, even if you're not planning to try to do anything to them, if you just walk up and you end up stepping on them because you didn't see them or whatever, and now here you go, and they are faster than what your heart can beat sometimes. So they can be overhead. You just never know where they're going to be. They don't just lay on the ground. They are everywhere.
Oh yeah, they can be up in trees and everywhere else.
Yeah, they get up in the rose bush. It's like, to be sure, it would hurt them, but it doesn't. They're after something up in the rose bush. They try to get the baby eggs out of. We have what they call a smoke bush. It's a little tree.
Yep, I'm familiar with them.
There's a mockingbird that has some, a nest out there. And the reason I knew the snake was on the porch, well, he was right in front of the porch, like where the step is.
That bird out there going nuts.
That bird was like up and down. I said, something's wrong out there. So I go out there and I see it. It's like, okay, now I know what she's after. I didn't realize that he had made the trek out to the tree and she cut him off. So once I saw that, he kept staying at the porch and he'd have a quicker shot. So when I see him headed toward the bird nest, I got there and threw the broom and stuff like that at him. So then the bird, she's like, hey, thanks, and I hope the little birds, managed to get up out the nest before, he might have got to them. But yeah, we have those. We have an owl that sits at the back door. We can even open the door up and be talking and taking pictures. And he's like, yeah, come on out here. I ain't scared of you. And he sits on my stand where I used to hang my RODI machine. He's right there. He's waiting for the bunny rabbits that come out.
Send him to Curtis's place. Curtis has got a lot of rabbits.
And also the feral cats, they come through our driveway. There's a shed out in the woods that floated there from a hurricane years ago. Nobody knows whose shed it is. And it's on the next door neighbor's property, but he's fenced in, so he don't really use that part. He'll never do anything. But the feral cats hang out there in it, so they go back and forth. And it picks off their kittens, Yeah. And I understand the owls got to eat too, but it's just hard, just to know. And when I let my little dog out to pee, we got to stand right there. So in case if I have to fight it, got to protect my children.
That'll be interesting video of you out there that's owl. Just,
But I would.
I know you would.
I wouldn't do it for me, but I would do it for her. I'd run for me. You know, you're always braver for the little things that you love.
That's why every time I let the little dog out, I let the big dog out too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Because I'm only maybe a half a mile from like a cornfield. And every once in a while, you'll see a coyote.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And they'll get your dogs.
they'll get your dog. They won't get my big
Thing
dog.
we got freaking gray foxes have been running around down here picking off stuff. They got all my neighbors' chickens.
Mm.
I used to have a gray fox.
I went to school with a guy who he raised them.
Well, this one here, I was 18, and my first vehicle was a '67 International pickup truck with I had the 3-speed stick, on the collar.
3 on the tree.
And I was coming home, and I saw what I thought was a German Shepherd because it was gray on the side of the road. And then as I got closer, I saw it looked like a fox. And so I stopped, and it didn't run off. So I got out, and it stood right there and looked at me. And so it wasn't bleeding or anything that I could see. Well, I had a little blanket in the truck, went and got it, picked that thing up, wrapped that blanket around, picked it right up in the face, lifted it up, and I put it on that one seat, in that truck. So he was right there. And took it home. And it's like, oh my gosh, looking back, that thing could have eaten my face off. But maybe somebody had hit him enough to have just, maybe he was still in shock or something. But we kept him for a few days and fed him and all. And eventually he went back into the woods, but he wasn't afraid. He just took his time. And one day he just went in the woods and stayed, So, yeah.
Yeah, we had a kid in school. He raised foxes. He had them for, I couldn't tell you how long.
They're pretty.
One day he come walking along, and we're like, "What the hell?" And he's got a dang fox on a leash, just walking along with it. Like, holy cow! Of course, he'd found a baby deer one time too that he raised up, and that was kind of crazy.
I've seen
that. Game warden come along and told him you can't keep those.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, well, we were learning how to make box traps. I don't know why somebody made one. So we made one too, and caught a possum in it. Well, we kept it. And it would freak my mother out because we'd let it hang on the arm. He'd wrap his tail, pick him up, and I would put him on a little dog harness and walk him in the yard. But she made me eventually let him go.
My grandpa used to have them box traps like crazy. I haven't seen any of them in years.
I don't even know what the goal was to catch. Maybe a raccoon. I don't know.
I don't remember.
So, yeah. That's what it is when you're in the country and you're used to playing with sticks and riding broomsticks and mop handles, for horses.
For a horse.
Yeah. And look, when your mama got a brand new mop and it hasn't been used yet, that was a pretty horse.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to pet it.
Or when you got in trouble and they hand you a pocket knife and say, "Go cut that willow out there and cut me a switch."
Oh, we just had to.
And it better not be no little one.
No, and those trees that they light, then those branches could be a good 6 feet long and still be very flexible.
Oh, yes.
Because they had to rip all them leaves off of it too, except for the two at the end. And that way they could flap off while they were getting you. That
way when they hit you, it could partly wrap around you and smack you in another place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the days. You hated to go get your own, but, it happened to everybody eventually. So,
Oh, my brother and me get fighting. Dad would hand us each a pocket knife. Go cut a switch. Because when you get them cut, I'm not gonna whip you. You're gonna whip each other.
oh Lord.
My dad would make us stand on a chair, and then if he knocked you off the chair, the first thing you heard was, "Get your ass back up on the damn chair!" Like you're the one that knocked me off.
Oh Lord. Now, did they hurt? Heck yeah, they hurt. Did I learn a lesson? Heck yeah, I learned some lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do some things again? A few. But as I got older and they got harder, it's like, oh, yeah, I better not, And then my mother learned restriction punishment.
No,
It was
that's
2
the worst.
weeks. And by the time I'm a teenager, I'm taller than she is. So, I think I can run some stuff around here. And that 2 weeks, though, Mama didn't cave. If she said 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. The Pope could come to town or whatever. You couldn't go,
Mm-hmm.
And the next door neighbor could have a birthday party. All you could do was stand at the end of the yard and they could bring you a cupcake or something, but you couldn't go. And she was hardcore on that. And I'd be like, Mama, please just spank me. Let me go. And she's like, and she learned how to cool my jets because I could have gotten wild.
The worst one I remember is I'm the youngest of 4 boys.
Oh yeah.
The 2 older ones got us all in trouble. Wasn't and it was wait till your dad gets home, one of those type of deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, here comes that belt and that chair again. Here it comes again. Nope. He took the chair all right and he set it out on the patio and he shaved all of our heads.
Oh.
And I come out of my room the next morning to go to school, with the stocking cap on it. He went, nope. So I got a tan face, super white.
And now everybody's going to know you got in trouble.
Yeah, and there were these 4 bald-headed kids walking to school. Like, yeah, we're not ever doing that again.
We see, I had a horse, and I got one when I was 12 at Christmas, and I wasn't allowed to ride him those 2 weeks either.
Oh,
Now that horse is what I lived, for was to breathe horse shit going down the road, because it's like there ain't nothing that smells any better than horse shit and hay to me. They should bottle it and sell it as perfume. I would buy some.
You should make a candle out of hay.
Because oh man, I love that. But I had to go out there and feed him and brush him and all that, but I couldn't ride him. And that was torture.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Mm-mm.
See, Ginger uses the Wi-Fi, and that's what I do with Butterfly when she's stubborn, because she's never had a spanking, but she's the kind of kid that wouldn't work on. So I have to use something that means something to her, because she's got a stubborn streak in her. But she can't take that no phone or tablet. That's one way that shuts all that down real fast. But I've always told everybody, if y'all find me dead and I've got either a cell phone or a tablet stuck out my ass and I'm dead, you look at her because she's the one that did it. She's like, you took it away for the last time.
That's how we used to do the grandkids when they lived with us. We'd take their phone or tablet, and in the safe they'd go for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Oh yeah.
Well, see, I'm mean because I just set it up high enough that she can see it. Because I have to give her constant daily reminders, this is what you lost. Because, I have to do this. Nowadays, these kids, they run all over you if you ain't careful.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
And I got to know that, that I can still handle her. Because she's almost as tall as I am now. Yeah, that's how I learned to ride. And I have saved horses, Moose. I rode a few cowboys.
I wasn't going to mention that comment.
Yeah,
you know,
me either.
They were begging for it. They were begging. They wanted it, so I just gave it to them.
Yeah.
I'm not too proud. I don't mind making a fool of myself either, because y'all all know that. So
I think somewhere I still got a clip of you on a chair.
Partly on a chair
Yeah, something like that.
well,
for like a
part
couple
of that
minutes.
clip, well, I got one of Skull doing this. I got to get it ready too. I saved it last night. That's blackmail.
It's a good thing you weren't still on with us at 3 or 4 in the morning. You might have heard
Well,
something.
I can still look it up if I need to. Was that on your stream, Alex?
Was it New Year's?
No, last
No.
night we were on.
No, last night. Those vibes.
Oh no, that was on his.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole time in vibes.
Well, he went offline, and we stayed backstage for like 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, but I saved it. I got it, and I'm not just gonna put it out there just like YouTube clip. No, I'm gonna put it on a video, and I'm gonna jack that thing up.
Good.
Heck yeah, shows how muscular I am.
You know, it's the innocence and things that makes it really, really funny. 'Cause I don't even remember what you were talking about, but when I saw it, I knew what I had to do. I understood the assignment.
There you go.
You know, I watch lots of YouTubes.
Yeah.
So, Alex, what are you going to build those cabinets for?
I picked up a tank. It's like 2 weeks ago now. I've been dying to put it together, but I have nothing to put it on right now. And it's
How big a tank you get?
it's like a 90p. So it's like 3 feet wide, pretty much. I think 18 inches front to back, 18 inches tall. Nice fancy rimless tank.
Ooh.
I've had rimless tanks before, but they're all like smaller. So this is like my first like nice rimless tank. So I'm gonna make a nice cabinet for it, and I'm gonna plant it up and make it look all pretty.
I say a lot of those 90Ps and them are what a lot of them aquascapers prefer.
Mm-hmm. It's like a
Now,
pretty
what
good
dimensions
standard.
is a 90p?
I think it's like 32 inches technically, like 32 inches across, and then 18 inches front to back, 18 inches tall.
So
And
you
it ends up,
like girth then? Yeah.
oh, of course, and
Yeah.
it's about 45-ish gallons, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But it's a good size.
Nice. Yeah. You know, if you've never had a tank deeper than the 12 inches, you know, like the 55,
Mm-hmm.
you think, oh, I can put everything in. Well, you can't really escape a 55 very easily. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you got a rock or two, you know, you don't have much room to layer. And
That's what I like about the 40 breeders.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, me too. They're my favorite tank. And, you know, it does make a difference. It's like, oh, I wish I'd have known that a long time ago, but 90p sounds European, it's Moose says.
I
Yeah,
think
it's like
they are.
It's like the UNS or ADA size that they all kind of, all those rimless tanks they use like codes like that. I don't know what the actual 90 stands for.
It's not
Yeah,
Yeah,
leader.
when you said that, I thought it was a 90 gallon. I thought 90 petite. That's what I thought.
I don't think it's liter because there's like way different sizes that are still like the same number. Like there's a 90S and it's not the same gallons, I don't think. I'm not sure.
I haven't followed enough of that to know.
Yeah, they're too fancy for me. I don't have a lot of fancy stuff. I
Now-
usually get like a rimmed tank that's on sale.
Well, me too. That's what most of mine are. Will you have a top on this, or will it be open?
I think I'm gonna have it open, and we'll see how nice it decides to play. Because I know my other tanks, I have to have lids because they evaporate pretty quickly.
Yeah,
But
mine do too.
if I have to, I'll put a lid on it. But if I
Are you going to
don't
build a
have to-
canopy for it?
then yeah, that'll be the. If I have to do a lid, then I'll do a canopy. Because
I need to do that with my Chihiros. Because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
bright when you look at it from because it's, up higher. And
Mhm.
of course, a light finds your eyeball. That's cool. You already have what you in mind. See, Jeff thinks you're gonna put fish that look like sausages in it.
Ooh, Zen says 90p is 90 centimeters wide in standard height. Yeah, so that's about.
Zen Ginger, give me a breakdown of inches. I deal with inches, Zen. You know that. I ain't never how many centimeters you got there. What you working with? Ain't never
Yeah.
you asked that question.
Makes it seem bigger when you talk centimeters. Huh?
That's why you use
Yeah.
centimeters. Yeah, of course.
Like, hey baby, I got 30 centimeters over here for you. And some people might mistake Millie like with millionaire, big, big
Mhm.
money. Yeah, I guess you got to do what you got to do. About 3 feet, she said. That'd be a nice tank. That's really pretty. Not me, Coy. I would love to, though. I would love to.
I'll tell you, my 125 is looking like it's gonna be a plywood tank here soon. I just keep having problems with it. I'm gonna have to reseal it again soon because I'm looking at the edges and they're starting to, bubble a little bit. And I'm just thinking, I don't want. The only thing stopping me from like cutting it up now is the stand that it's on. I built with my dad. I mean, put a lot of time into it, so I'd have to get like another 125 or something to put on the stand.
Absolutely.
Because at this point, like I made the stand nice with like edge trimming and everything. It looks really good, but I don't know what I would do with the stand if I go ahead and sacrifice the front panel of this tank to make something bigger. What am I going to do with the stand?
And you don't get a chance to do that kind of stuff forever. So appreciate it when you have it.
The projects that I do that I have where it was with my dad or with my brother or something, I like to hold on to those. Let's see what. So it's bigger than a 40 breeder.
35 by 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, I just happen to have it. I always keep a tape measure right here, just in case if I need one. For some reason, I need to measure something. 40 breeder is what, 18 deep?
That way she can confirm things of the size they say
I
they
do.
are.
I mean, there's no need of no bullshit here. 17 and 36 wide. Yeah. I was single for about 20 years. So, a tape measure is a must, when you're out looking for specific details in projects, maybe.
Yeah, like at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I carry them when I go to Home Depot and Lowe's. Lowe's is my store, but I do have to go to Home Depot once in a while. And if I forget mine, I go get a new one. And I don't take it out the pack, but I'm measuring everything all over. Then I hang it back up when I'm finished.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Home Depot or Lowe's is that they have tape measures there, and you don't have to buy them.
But I usually put one in my pocketbook because I just want to whatever, because you might be buying a board for a shelf, then you might be over there buying some wood, whatever.
IKEA
when I go, I try to do everything.
The IKEA tape measure is really nice for keeping in a bag because it's small, and it's like $1.
You have to assemble
I used a little teeny one that it was a keychain one, but it got where it didn't work too good. But I'll tell you what now.
Oh, look at that. We got a robot working for us now.
Yeah, so you don't realize how much water weighs until you start dealing with water.
Yeah.
You lift a gallon of milk and you're like, oh yeah, I can get 2 gallons of milk. And back in the horse days, I could throw a 50-pound bag of feed, a 50-pound bag of feed, and I could go to the barn. A bale of straw, a hay on each side. Now 2 gallons of water, I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna kill my back.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put 8 gallons of water in something, it's heavy.
And we get 8 gallons on the floor, it takes up a lot of area.
Oh yeah, it sure can. It sure can.
Ask
And
Whip.
and it's going to go to the best rugs or everything you got too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get like RO water from a store where you have to get it in like the big 5-gallon jugs?
I used to, yeah. Mine was a 6-gallon jug.
Yeah, I used to just hold one in each hand and walk them to the car, and now I'm like, okay, I'm doing one at a time, and I'm stretching first.
I have one of those little dolly things that you fold up, and that way you can wheel them.
That's smart. Wheels.
That's easier. Yeah, see? Wheels are good for lots and lots of things. But yeah, before I got my machine, that's what I used to have to do was go get. I had 2 of those 6-gallon tall blue cans from Walmart, and it is it's easy enough to move them down, across and everything. But when you got lift one of them things up and like pour it in a tank that's, chest high, and it's 6 gallons, up of, and it can get stressful.
Yeah.
Then you have to cuss and fuss, and that's what it takes sometimes just to get things done.
Yeah, I'm good at lifting something up to like chest level or something, but if I have to lift like heavy weight, like over shoulder height, then I'm out. I gotta have help.
Now I can move. I put the 40 breeder on the stand, which it wasn't that heavy, picking it up and moving it. But that stand is kind of high. And as I got to the thing, I'm like, oh, I need like another inch. It just happens like that to me.
Moose Jimmy's the one who invented the wheel.
Huh?
Moose said he remembers when they invented the wheel. I said, hell, Jimmy's the one who did invent the wheel.
That's right. Jimmy should be getting a check still for today for that. But I couldn't set it down now because my back is in this mode. I can't really shift it. And so I just had to like, and you just hoist it and give it everything you got, and I cleared it and I was fine. But it's like, I'll never do that again. And this 125 I thought was going to kill us to get it in this house.
I'll lean a tank like vertically, so it's like long ways, and I'll like lean it up against the stand, and then I'll be able to like push it up. And that's the only way I'm getting some of these tanks that I have up onto the racks. I can do a 40 by myself where I could just lift it, but like I'm drawing the line at like the 75s. 50s are still manageable for me, but the 75s it's too much. I'm at that point.
Well, that 75 I got out here, it's an old Oceanic in the bottom class, and that thing's got to be an inch thick. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
Now this 40 breeder, I didn't have any trouble because the stand's about 3 inches lower. It's just that, and plus it was in the corner of the room, and I couldn't navigate, so I had to go at it straight on. There wasn't no playing because there's a 125 right beside it. Now the 125, my husband was in Florida, and I took and built this stand, and he had to go down to emergency. And when he came back, I had taken the old stand out, moved this tank to the new stand, filled it up, and had the dirt back in it and everything, He's like, well, who helped you? I said, nobody helped me. But I used, I slide stuff, and I've learned to do that too.
I had help when I moved my 180 and my 125, but I did not have help when I moved my 90 and all the 75s and stuff. So with that, when I was moving from the apartment, I built a cart. And so I went out and I measured the height of the tailgate when tailgate was down on the back of the truck. And I went and I got one of those like garden carts, like those big green metal carts with like the wire mesh on the side with the inflatable wheels.
Landscape carts.
Yeah, like a landscape cart. And I built like a platform with 2x4s, and then I put some plywood on top so that it's 6 feet. So that's what I used to move the 125, but I had help with that. But I've got this big plywood surface on the top, and it's easy to move around. And so one of the last things I moved was that 90 bike. So I just brought that cart into my apartment, and I just lifted up a corner of the 90 and kind of like just slid it over onto the cart. And then I wheeled it out to the truck, and the same thing. I just kind of lifted it like a couple inches and then put it in the bed of the truck and then just pushed it on. And the same deal when I got back to this house was, same process. Just took the cart out of the truck and slid the tank onto it, and then got that down into the basement. I have a side door access here, and then same thing with the stand. But the stand's pretty light. But that's how I was moving some of these big tanks.
Yeah, but you figured it out and you did what you had to do. But just like Catahoula says, the cost to fix a hernia is over $3,000, and that's why I'm not building beds in anymore. Because I looked and I said, well, how much would it cost to fix a broken leg or broken arm in case if I fall? And I've had to stop doing some things that I used to never even think about.
Hip replacement, knee replacements. Yeah.
Thank God I've still got good knees and that kind of stuff, but you never know. I have broken my wrist, but that's out of all the stuff I've done in my life, I'm very lucky because I got ran over before when I was 12 by a big tractor and a cartload at the back. It was pulling behind it, so I got ran over twice.
We've got different definitions of lucky.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been thrown off horses forever. That kind of stuff has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I only got a broken wrist, and that's because my wrist hit. I stepped on something on my shoe, and I went backwards. The curb came away, and the driveway went down like this on a curb. And so when I stepped, my heel's lower than my toe. And of course, it's 4:30 in the morning. We're at a gas station getting stuff before you go into work, and I didn't catch myself. But my man's watch that I wore when I was working at the prison hit the corner of the curb, and it broke my wrist right there. So, for all I have done, I'm very lucky because I am scarred up like a daggone feral cat, tomcat out there. I don't think you can find any piece that doesn't have scars all over it. So,
yeah, that's how my hands are.
That's pretty much how my hands, arms, back. Yeah.
Of course, I grew up in the tobacco field. My daddy was a commercial fisherman, so we were always on the back of a boat, a trawler, a skiff, in the field, hauling tobacco back and forth. And so you were burnt to a crisp because back then they didn't do, what's that stuff? Rub on sunscreen. They didn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And you wouldn't have had enough anyways. We spent more hours in the sun than we didn't. And so now I have to go to the doctor and pay them, cut this off, cut that. So even if I did have a little something that hasn't been beat down to death, they got to go cut and handle it that way.
Didi, but it seemed like back in them days, the sun wasn't as bad as it is now.
Well, maybe
you don't get burnt near as quick back then.
I always got burnt.
Could be.
I think it's.
I got burnt.
Well, I never really did.
I think it's because we were outside so much that you never really weren't tan.
Well, it could be.
I don't burn. I get
where you played, but like when we started getting out for the summer, we do the suntan thing, getting a little teenager thing, and
yeah.
I got burnt to a crisp the first day, and then it'd be about 2 weeks where I'd come back out after all the peeling and everything. Everybody else has got a tan. I look like Casper,
That's like my granddaughter.
Except for the part under the shorts, I always had a tan like farmer's tan.
My granddaughter lay out she'd be burnt to a crisp in a matter of minutes. Looked like a lobster peeling the skin off in sheets.
We had a
Now
band
I
camp
cover
tan.
up. Do what now, Alex? I'm sorry.
We had band camp tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could even tell where if you wore like shirts like with buttons, and had a couple buttons undone, you had that tan spot there. And to this day, I still have a tan looking on my chest.
Like a little bee.
You would not notice it unless I was naked, because you don't see it just looking at me. It still looks all white, but when you see the stuff that did get burnt to a crisp all the time, you realize there is a permanent damage. So kids, stay out of the sun, cover up, wear long sleeves, do whatever you got to do, because trust me, that cold hot spray that they put on there, and I look like the pirate with all these things cut off my face. Yeah, it ain't fun. I had to go to the class with all these. I think I might have still had the stitches on the side of my face. It's like, they're like, or is it going to bother you to have a scar? It's like, don't matter if it bothers me or not. I don't want to have the cancer in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd rather have a scar. Say, well, she looked pretty when we buried her early, So just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, Steven's going to stay out of the sun. He has taken my advice. So now Jenna can do the trash and the dog walks and the children, because Steven has to protect his skin.
Yeah, it's precious.
Yes. But you know what? Brian can grab a 75, a Pepland Creek. He can just grab a 75-gallon and go with it. I don't know why that just came to me, but it did. Maybe I saw bottom of the chat and it just went to the bottom, my thoughts. Yeah, there's Skipper. Oh, did y'all see Whipstream yesterday?
I saw that.
I caught part of it.
Well, I had to watch it as a replay because I was in another meeting, but that was a hoot. They just cracked me up.
Well, I saw Rika.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds of it. Rico's been having a rough time, it sounds like.
Yeah. And when he does come out, he makes everything so much fun. I got to sit right beside him at the sing-along at the Clash with Ted Coletti plays his guitar and stuff. And so me and him shared one of them like settee type things. And it was so cool, sitting with Rico, because he's fun. He makes you feel good. He has a good time. And,
I hope I make it to the Clash
singing just as loud as I could sing. And y'all know I can't sing. Y'all heard it. But it didn't stop me nary bit.
I'll be right back, guys. I need to go move my laundry over.
All right.
Oh, he's doing domesticated stuff today.
He'll make somebody a good wife one of these days.
Well, men need to know how to do this.
I do it too. I do it too.
A lot of people think, "Oh, that's the woman's work." No, you want
I do
you might
laundry
have to learn how to do it.
Laundry and 99% of the cooking. So
now, I do a lot of stuff that's considered women's work. It's just that's what I do. But I guess if I couldn't get to it, he'll do it. But if you like your way better, you just do it yourself.
right.
But he'll help me out. Now he's not going to come in the kitchen and cook, but he'll cook on the grill. And
I do that.
As if I say, "Hey, you're going to have to fix this spaghetti in here," or something like that. But he would buy something to cook it outside.
Yeah.
That's me. If I can throw it in that wood-fired pizza oven, it'll go in there.
Oh, we don't have a pizza oven.
I do.
I'll be out there grilling in the snow. It doesn't bother me.
Me too. I've had smoker fired up when it was snowing and 5 below zero.
Mhm.
Oh, what kind of smokers y'all have?
I built mine.
Like a building type smoker or a
I've got a
real type
smokehouse
smoker?
and I've got a trailered one that's triaxle, 1,000-gallon propane tank.
Okay, cool.
And it's
I was
got
thinking
a
about building one of those smokehouse ones,
yeah,
small one.
yeah.
You like which one you like better?
Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm cold smoking like sausage or something like that, I'll use the smokehouse. I'm doing like home curing hams or sausage or cheese. I'll use the smokehouse.
Wow. How about you, Curtis?
I'm not as fancy as that. I just got a Weber smoker. Straight from the old Menards place.
I'll have to send you a picture of that one of mine, Didi. It's something else. My
Now,
old competition rig.
I had bought Tony an electric one like you buy at Lowe's.
Yeah.
You know, a little stand-up one. But he wanted one from gas or charcoal, so I got him one of those. But now he wants a different kind, and and as long as he's having fun with it, I'm good with it because he lets me do all I want to in here. So it's a small price to pay. But I've always wanted to build him a concrete block smokehouse.
Brick house, yeah.
Yeah, my brother has a deer processing. It's not a plant because it's just him, but
Right.
but he does his sausages and stuff. And he's got one he can hang deer and all that, hams and all that stuff, a bunch of them at one time.
Me
And
too.
It's pretty cool. You can stay in there and get warm if you needed to, but
Right.
I wouldn't build one that big, but I would want to build one that would hold, say, 4 turkeys easy.
Oh yeah.
Just on the hangers,
Yeah, mine will hold 6 hams and probably 8 or 9 dozen sausage. And then like my big cooker will hold 50 turkeys, 19 pork butts, and 6 briskets all at once.
Nice.
And that's not including the warming oven on the back, which it'll probably hold another probably 20 turkeys.
Nice. So you got a nice place. I want to make my husband an outdoor kitchen, like everything, sink and all.
Yeah.
We have a space over here for grill, this and that. No, we have a space over here. I'd like to make him like a nice kitchen area.
Right.
I just think, I like when the COVID hit, we had to stay home because of the kid being, having issues. And so I decided right then, we're going to make the backyard the best place we can make it so we can enjoy it. And so we started doing little things, and, that's why I said if he wants this grill, we go get it. If he wants this kind of grill, we'll go get that, whatever he wants. But he's more frugal than I am.
Right.
And if you want it, let's go get it, But,
Moose, 2.
2 elephants.
Then I've got the hog coffin I've got. It'll hold 2 whole hogs in it at one time if I wanted.
Wow. Have you ever used it full?
Oh,
like
yeah.
That?
Oh yeah. I could take 2 fully frozen whole hogs, and it'll cook them in about 2.5 hours. From frozen.
I gotta go let my tank water drinking dog out.
Okay. Now, my ex-father-in-law, he used to take these big oil drum type things and cut them and put them on trailers, and everybody had a cooker that would hold a pig.
Right.
And back then they started this cooking, pig cooking contest, and it'd be about 100 entries in there.
Oh yeah.
And it was just fun because they charcoal or wood. There was a few gas, but most people went with the other two.
That's the only way to go.
So
I've been at competitions where there'd be guys rolling them big fancy cookers that were gas or electric, and they would be disqualified. Just nope, you have to use either charcoal or wood.
Well, they didn't have electric hookups for them to use that, so they had to use something that could self-contain. But you can't get certain taste out of certain things.
That's right.
So you got to know what you're shooting for, which I don't know how to do all that, but I know my brother does this, and he uses this kind of wood for this kind of sausage. He makes sausages and stuff out of deer meat. And I don't think I'm real crazy about deer meat, but he can make it taste that you don't really think about it.
Get the gaminess out of it.
You don't notice it. And he has a bunch of Amish recipes that they shared with him when he was in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And he goes up there every year. So he's gotten to know some people, but it's pretty good, I have to say. Now, I don't want to eat it knowing what it is. I just don't.
Right.
Good Lord, he was needing some help. And he said, sis, he calls me sis. He said, sis, he said, can you come and help me? This is about 3 or 4 years ago. And I said, what would I have to do? He said, well, we have to process deer, which I don't know what that means, at this point. I'm thinking, gut it, that kind of stuff. I said, oh, I can't do that. I just can't do that. I can do a lot of stuff, but I can't do that. And he said, no, I do all that part, but, I bring it in bucket in totes, and you just have to, cut up this and that and the other, or either
separate everything.
Now, I ain't joking. I ain't big about that, but the first bucket load, whatever he used, it was hard. But I did it, because it's like, we're going to be there for days, so I did it. And of course, after about the third one, I'm like, bring me another one, come here, bring me another one. But I didn't want to do the other part. Now, I ain't saying if I was hungry that I couldn't, because I could. I'll do what I got to do. But that's just something I don't like to do. My first chicken I cut up whole, I cried. Because it looked like a little baby. I set it on the side of the sink, and its little arms and legs sat out there. I said, oh my God, that looks like a little naked baby. And it was hard to cut, and I would cry. Because my mama always bought cut up chickens. I'd never seen one whole.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't stew and bake. Everything was always just chicken pieces. But I was on a severe budget first time I was married, so we had to cut corners everywhere we could. And so I said, well, I can do this.
Yeah, learned to cut a chicken up pretty quick.
Now, it probably wasn't a pretty cut, but I
got the job done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we would buy these big old boxes as bacon pieces, and it was really for seasoning. That's what we cooked up lots of times as our meat for supper. But you got to taste a little bit of bacon, so, we did that too. Highball said he'd never seen a baby in a chicken. Well, you just got to look for it. You got to have an artistic eye, Eyeball. You should know. Eyeball that chicken.
Yeah.
Stand back.
I still cook some of the stuff my parents did. They used to fry bologna and fry potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I smoke bologna. I'll buy a big old chub of it and throw it out there on there.
A chub?
Yep.
I didn't know that's what
the big unsliced, just a big like a log of it. I'll buy one of them and score it a little bit. Throw it on there.
That used to be the only way you could get it was in the chub. It didn't come sliced. You had to slice it yourself.
Yep.
Well, now, smoked bologna, I don't care about bologna. But my daddy would fry it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it smelled good. It really did. And he would fry it like for breakfast. But smoked bologna, you could add enough flavors and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Probably
but that tastes great.
Halfway decent. Yeah.
Well, that's
and
like
fried potatoes. I still do fried potatoes.
Oh, fried potatoes and onions. I grew up eating that and fried mush.
Now, my mother didn't use onions. And so our food was like salt and pepper. That was it. And, I learned onions and stuff now.
Yep.
So try the potatoes and onions and put some French's mustard on it.
Yep.
I don't do no mustard. I'm like Chattanooga Ed. I don't get sick from mustard, but I don't. It ruins something if I bite into it and it's got mustard. It's like you ruined it.
Oh man.
Is it just a
We
plain
grew up
like,
with
yellow mustard?
I don't know. Growing up, I only ate just ketchup on burgers and stuff, and then
Mhm.
you go to one of these fast food things and they got that like 42 ounces of mustard on top of a burger, and it sloshes everywhere. So I would take it and like scrape it off the best you could and
Or
eat
mayo.
it. But
Or mayo. They'll do that too.
yeah,
I like mayo.
I like mayo.
yes.
I like a smearing of it. I don't want to bite down into it either. I just like it to, like butter on toast. I love butter on toast, but I don't want to see no butter on toast. I just want it to be shiny, glistening.
That's
Then it's good.
that's
Right.
why we got a truck stop here that has a grill, but you cook your own.
Oh,
You
That
go
sounds
get your patty and you cook it however you want it, and then you can put whatever you want on it, and it's the same price whether you put 2 things on it or 20.
oh, nice.
It's quite the place. You walk in there and you're just like, oh yeah, it smells good in here.
Well, it's hard to find a hamburger grill. The
Mhm.
what I call the big stainless steel top grill.
Flat
grill.
top.
Yeah.
You don't find it. Everything's so. But they actually stand there and you can see them flipping it. I love to watch that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And they use real meat. So most of the time.
That's a good part of living in a small town. We still have some of that here where
Yep. We still have a few mom and pop's places around here.
you can sit there and talk to the cook as he's flipping your burger and everything.
You just go to Waffle House. It's redneck
Yes.
hibachi.
Well,
Red
the only thing about Waffle House around here, it's like the fight zone. So you got to
Yeah.
be careful.
Yeah.
You
I
might
think
get
that's
hurt.
universal.
Yes, Catahoula, I do have Duke's mayonnaise in my cabinet and refrigerator, but I like a macaroni salad with the mayonnaise, but I don't want it goopy on a sandwich or a hamburger. I just like a little bit. I
Right.
don't mind eating it. I don't mind eating it in egg salad, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but here the Waffle House, it's like you might get cut if you go in there. We have two places around here with the hamburger grills, and one of them is called Jeff's Burgers, and it's like the home, the old fashioned style burger,
Hmm.
and they do their shakes, but they on their French fries have an onion flavor. He must powder them up, and they are so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got
Jenna
a,
is here, and Whippersnapper.
We got one place around here that still does stuff the way they did back in the 50s. That's how it was done. It stayed in the same family since the 50s, and they still cook everything the same way they did back then.
yeah.
Everything's from scratch. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
this
good.
is how this place is too. Except they're not open on Sundays. And what day do I want a burger?
Sunday.
Sundays, because I've got a 13-year-old, so it's like school, and she wants to go out to eat with us when we go, so we don't go during the week. And then Saturday, everybody will be kind of like here, there, whatever you're doing, and then Sunday's like, oh man, I really want a hamburger, and yeah, you'd be stuck to McDonald's or something. That's not what you call a hamburger. I
No.
can cook a mean hamburger though. I can do it, but I want somebody else to cook it for me.
The moose, the ones they cook it, the ones that they do over here, yeah, they're fried in tallow.
What's that?
Other burgers they do here, everything when they cook them, they'll put a little beef tallow down,
Oh,
and then they'll cook the burgers in that tallow grease, and oh my god, they're good. They also make what they call a plowboy, which is like they take a potato and they boil it till it's just about done, a whole potato, and then they dip it in their chicken batter, and then deep fry it.
I've never had that.
Me either.
Sounds
But it,
sounds interesting.
Sounds American
They're
enough.
they're
Okay.
pretty good.
I mean, it can't be bad. It's just like having a crusty potato, basically.
Well, they've also got one they call a potato bomb. What they do is they take the whole potato and they take like an apple core, run it right through the center, and then they'll fill the center of it full of cheese
Uh-huh.
and different lunch meats, and then they'll put plugs back in it, and then they'll batter it and deep fry it.
Now, something I do is those little teeny potatoes.
Yeah.
Little new
You-
potatoes.
Well, the little gold ones are the ones I prefer.
Yeah, the Yukon
um,
Golds.
But deep fry them, just in grease.
Mhm.
Bacon grease.
They're so good. Any kind of grease. I usually use just vegetable oil, whatever I have, because you have to have a lot. And I just didn't think it was going to be good because my cousin's wife told me about it. It's like, I don't know about all that. Why not just have French fries? 20 times better than a French fry.
Yeah.
And I like the potato skins, so you get the flavor from
Yeah.
that. Plus,
Yeah.
And
I'm still pretty old school. I mean,
them.
I still cook in cast iron, so I save all my grease in one of them old metal containers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always got bacon grease on hand.
I keep bacon grease. That's about it, and I don't keep a lot.
I don't keep a lot either, but enough I need.
Eyeball Pirate says he's done potato bombs on the grill.
Oh,
I
yeah.
assume it's a he. I'm assuming. I'm making an assumption because it didn't say piratess. But you can be what you want to be.
Yeah.
Um,
My girl favorite has to be the jalapeno pepper poppers.
Ooh.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're good.
They usually don't even make it in the house because I'm just eating them off the grill.
Oh, yeah.
I make it as a dip sometimes, because it goes a little bit further depending on how many people you're trying to feed. And
Yeah.
Right.
It's good. It's real good. I don't get to eat the hot stuff anymore around here because kid, but every once in a while now I can't take it like I used to have a tolerance. And now it's like I probably couldn't handle nothing that's hot. I did add a little bit of crushed red peppers to my chili yesterday because I knew she wasn't going to eat that. She's a vegetarian that doesn't eat vegetables or meat.
What do you eat?
She eats junk, but not me. That's my daughter. But yeah, she said I'm a vegetarian. So you want carrot? No, I don't like that. You want this? No, I don't like that. Now she will eat some French fries here and there, and every once in a while she'll eat 2 or 3 chicken sandwiches. But I said I thought you didn't eat meat. She said, "But that's chicken." That's okay. Just depends. She runs through little spells, but every time she eats something, I let her eat it. But I knew she wouldn't eat the chili because she loves those ramen noodles. That's one of her favorites.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew that's what she would want. So I added some, little pepper in there, it was kind of good. And he said, yeah, it's a little spicy because he's used to me keeping it mild for them. But it's like, for once, I was selfish. I did me first.
Mm-hmm.
They just had to suck it up. I didn't even put it in mine afterwards, which is what I would do if I even thought to do it anymore. I'd see the Hagens, they're just now sitting down to eat. We talked them into being hungry. That's what we did. We talked them into being hungry.
It's 10 o'clock here. What's it over there? What are they, Central Time? Mountain Time?
I think they're on the same time you are,
Yeah.
Eastern.
Well, I'm on Eastern. I think they're Roxanne's time, so she's Central.
Yeah, aren't they down by Jeff?
Yeah.
They're somewhere in that, that great vast wilderness place that they live in that's so damn cold. Yeah, you eat late now, but y'all find out when you get older. You try that crap when you're older. See if you don't spend the rest of the night sitting up.
So they get the early bird special.
Yeah. Now you're like, oh my God, I can't eat past 4, or else I'm gonna have to sit up all night. Luckily, it's not that bad, but it can get you when you get older. So, yeah, enjoy it while you can. You ain't gonna do it forever.
I still do it.
Well, I do it occasionally, but I don't do it that often. And I certainly don't do Italian that late. And Italian food is my favorite, but which one hits me the hardest? Italian.
Hmm.
And it's my favorite. I could eat it every day. Oh, he's going to pay for it, or somebody's going to pay for it in the morning. Well, if you're paying for it in the morning, that means the other one's probably having to pay for it too. Because it probably comes back down the hallway with you. Yeah.
That's about
I
like me. I
can
eat whenever
too.
it's available.
I just have to be careful if I'm going to lay down. Now, Tony bought me one of those beds, you can sit up and all that. And that made a world of difference. Trying to eat too close to go into bed makes a world of difference. But yeah, when you can feel
Yeah,
it
I've
coming
got
back,
one
it's
like
like
that.
if you lay down, if you lay all the way down, and like, oh my gosh, got to sit right back up.
Hmm.
Yeah. Seasoned Ginger had cake for lunch. What's wrong with that? That's good. What kind of cake, Zen?
The only thing she screwed up on, she didn't say ice cream too.
Right?
It had cake and ice cream.
Ice cream cake.
Ooh.
I wrote down a recipe for Texas trash pie yesterday.
Oh, what's that?
It is, you get a pie shell, you get a cup of like chocolate chips, a cup of coconut, a cup of crushed graham cracker crumbs, a cup of something else, a can of condensed milk, and a melted stick of butter. And stir all that up and put it in that little pie shell and smush it down and bake it for a little bit. And then you take it out. Oh, those caramel bits. It's basically little caramels, but they're in little balls. And bake it. Then you can scoop some ice cream on it while it's still good and warm. Yeah. Now I got to try it. See, she's fancy like that. Yeah, she couldn't just have a regular old chocolate vanilla cake. She had to make it checkerboard, cream cheese, all that kind of stuff.
Mine would be the Walmart clearance rack. That's where mine would come from.
Mine too.
I do make a cake. I do love to make a cake.
I do
And
pies. I don't do
I hate
cakes.
to buy one off the rack. I do.
I do pies. I don't make cakes.
I just kind of started doing it, and I like doing it. So I've got, I don't know how many cake recipes, but you can't find nothing because it's too many of them, and they're not organized. But I am making pretty mean cake. It's not a decorated cake because I don't know how to do the decorations, but it'll taste daggone good. And a lot of mine came off of Pinterest too. And I have the checkerboard thing where you can make the checkerboard cake. And I used to make everybody's birthday cakes at the prison, and not the MAs, but the officers. But
So that'd be an everyday thing there.
it would, wouldn't it? And but it's fun to do. And my husband always said, because I said I was going to do cakes on the side as extra income when I retired. So he was going to get me 2 ovens and all that kind of stuff. I said, no, look, I don't make enough to do all that. So, but yes, Nancy, look it up. It's Texas trash pie. Everything is 1 cup measurement except for the stick of butter and the whole can of condensed milk. So it's very easy as far as measurements. I've got to get a pie shell. I could make it, but it's just as easy to go buy that, in a box and just spread it out and put it in your pie pan.
Yeah, and generally you get more than one in a box. So
yeah, so you got to make a second one.
Yeah, why not?
Peanut
I
butter
just saved
jelly is technically a pie. I don't know. I don't eat peanut butter and jelly because I can't do the jelly.
Oh my! They're talking about
Peanut butter pie.
They're talking about Uncrustables
Yeah,
from the
I
other day.
can't. I like jelly too, but I like the smear of jelly. I like the idea there was jelly scraped across it. Look, a jar of jelly could last me 18 years as thin as I spread it. I just can't
enough
bite down
ferment.
into it. uh, but yeah, so I could eat it if you blended the peanut butter and the jelly together.
They have that.
So you don't really see it. I could eat it that
Yep.
way.
Yeah, you can buy it already made that way.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
Goobers.
that's the only way. So, and we had some of that because for a while she was wanting to do the peanut butter jelly, and I got her some goobers because it's like this would be easier, and she ain't made a damn sandwich out of it. I think I threw it away a year ago.
They got it in a squeeze bottle too, so you don't even need a knife.
Oh, cool. Oh, a pumpkin pie. A pumpkin pie, he says, and it's true. It's not pumpkin, it's pumpkin. All good pumpkin pies are pumpkins. But I'm not a pumpkin pie person. I
Me
like
either.
sweet potato ones better of the two. I can eat it, but it's got a stronger flavor.
Mm-hmm.
The sweet potato pie to me is a little bit better, and they look the same, and a lot of people wouldn't even know the difference, you know. So you can always fake it.
Is that life advice?
Yes. You will always have to fake something along the lines somewhere. You either fake it to hurt somebody's feelings or you fake it not to hurt somebody's feelings, whichever one applies at the time. So, and Roxanne says she's got lemon poppy seed cake. I've never had that.
Ooh, I've had that.
I've heard
It's
of
really-
it, but I've never had it.
I've had it. It's amazing.
But it has lemon in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a poppy seed. What if it does you like the poppy flowers did all those people when it was
Oh, puppies.
You'll fail drug tests if you have like poppy seed bread.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Sure
Well,
will.
how about that? I did not know that.
But it's delicious. You don't get high or anything from it.
Then what's the point of getting it in your system if you didn't get high?
The
Why would you do it?
poppy seed bread is good. You could get it from like Walmart. It
I'll have
just
to try
tastes
some of
good.
that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's sweet.
Oh wow. Well, working in the prison is, of course, I had to be able to pass drug tests
Mhm.
if they chose to send me to one. So, for 30 years, I could have passed any drug test, and they never ever sent me. And I always told them, I said, yeah, you can bet one thing. When I retire, my first day out, I'm gonna get on my front porch on my rocker, and I'm gonna go get me a bag of potato chips and a couple dozen of donuts and 2 or 3 liters of Mountain Dew, and I'm gonna get a joint about that big around, about that long, and I'm gonna sit right there and I smoke the whole damn thing.
You
You know
gotta
what?
do that
I
in
ain't
front
never
of the
even
prison.
tried none since I retired 5 years ago. I've all talk, no action. But I thought about it for 30 years. It just now
Just give you
it's
something to
like
look
the
forward to.
Oh gosh, when I was 18, me and my cousins, we got into a little bit of that stuff, and apparently donuts was our go-to. We go to a little donut house and sit on the bar stools, fall off the bar stools, laughing so hard because all you had to do was look at each other, and you both fall out, laughing, and of course then everybody else in there starts laughing, and you laugh a little bit more. I'm a happy drunk, no matter which way, alcohol or whatever that was. I'm happy, but yeah, so it would be fun to do that. Shoot, I had time. But donuts, we'd like to go get the little donut holes. And the lady that worked there, we worked with her on the weekends, and she knew what was up, and so she'd come up there and just keep feeding you more and more donut holes. Look, I was every bit of 99 pounds back then, probably, but we'd eat donut holes for hours. Well, it seemed like hours. I don't know. It might have been 15 minutes. But
We didn't get the donut holes. We always got the rum balls.
it was fun. Rum balls, never had a rum ball.
Oh boy.
Are they bitter?
No, it tastes like rum. They're made
No,
right. That's about all you taste. It's rum.
I went through a little rum period, the Bacardi rum. That was my first alcohol that I ever tried. That wasn't from my mama's cabinet. They were sneaking a swig, here and there, to mix it with our Kool-Aid. But somebody taught me to put fruit cocktail in the bottom of a cup, pour in my rum, however much I wanted, and then put your Coke on it. And if I can't taste it, I can drink it. So, and after about 3 of them, you don't taste it anyway, so it don't matter how strong they get. But that was my thing back in the day, was like Bacardi rum, the clear rum. I thought it was pretty fun, to try all that. And then we had a party at work in one of my first places I ever worked at, and they took a trash can. I was thinking, ooh, a trash can. I'm thinking a used trash can, They said, well, we clean it. I thought, well, you can't clean that thing enough. But then I find out it's a brand new trash can, and it was a metal trash can, and they filled that stuff up with some punch, with alcohol in it. I don't know what was in it.
Jungle juice.
Was good. It was good.
Frog.
And it tasted like Kool-Aid to me.
Yep, jungle juice.
Grog.
Frog?
The grog.
The grog?
Yeah.
It was a hoot, and of course, once I saw it was a clean, brand new trash can, because I'm thinking, I ain't none of that. But, oh, yeah, I would have drank this stuff out of a bathtub after about 3 of them.
We used to make it in a bathtub.
I used to dance all night, so I could do that more. But now I don't dance and stuff, so sitting, it works faster. But back then, I danced it off, I didn't sit down. Once I went somewhere, I was going to dance with somebody all night.
The grog is when it's like a big can or whatever, but everybody just brings their own random alcohol, and it's just a big mix. It's a mix.
Yeah,
of
we always called it jungle juice.
Yeah.
Is frog and Wapatusi the same thing?
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Eric, if I could twerk, I would have done it, but I can't twerk. I was twerking at the class. If I could, yeah, I probably would have. I don't doubt that I wouldn't, because I'll do anything to make people laugh. I want to dance with somebody. Yep. I could always get me somebody to dance. We live near military bases, so them little young Marines back when I was a little, teenage, 18, 19-year-old, you could dance all night long. And then all of the little girls, we would go back in the car and head back home. So I've always been a tease. That's what I do. Look, she could twerk, but at our age, the juice isn't worth the fracture. I'd probably fall over on my forehead or something trying to do it.
Yeah.
That came out way too late in life for me. But I ain't mad at you if you can do it, You get smarter as you get older, Zen.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it takes longer to heal and longer to recover.
You let things work for you. Yeah, Scooter, Putin, and Teaser, and they had another word in front of the T's. That's exactly describes who I am. And I was kind of proud of it. In fact, I did a little quick, come join us tonight. I covered it in there too, because it's like, that's what I do. I ain't lying. That's what I do.
It's probably good Jimmy's not here. He'd have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
His pacemaker would be in overdrive.
And it's a shame he wasn't here to get picked on hard. Oh, the cops have been called. Everyone's sleeping, but I'm still awake. The party's not over because the liquor is gone. That's, but nowadays, and I never was a big drinker. It was fun with the fruits in it, but
Hmm.
I days at parties I went to, there was nothing. I had just as much fun. Probably had a little bit more fun, and well, I know for a fact I probably did, but because you can jump and do tricks and stuff. You're not drinking and not worry about falling. Because back then, we wore them big old. That was the days of the wooden bottom heels. You had them big old
Hmm.
platform heels, and then on top of that, they were tall, and so you had to be able to do things and land on your feet. So yeah.
And you had the days of the bell bottoms.
Oh, that was in my teenage days. And my mama hated them because I had some really low rider hip huggers. And somebody gave them to me. We didn't buy them. And my mama would have never bought them things, but they were kind of, they were as low riders as you could go without tracks being seen. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And back in those days, you
were-
had the short shirts too, with the little ties behind it, and you had this much skin between the tops and the bottoms, and big old bell bottoms and your big old clog heels. Oh yeah, that was all. That was all the rage for about a year and a half. It was fun. Now, if I was to wear big old bell bottoms like that, I would probably trip from the extra fabric and fall down, bust some of my teeth out or something.
Oh, the good old days.
Wop wap, wapatui, wapatusi. What the heck is that?
That's
Oh, everybody bring a bottle of booze. Okay.
that's a whip thing.
That sounded
Yep.
like what Funk says when he shakes that fork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Funk can bring out his little things.
Voodoo
I
doll.
got stuff here too. I ain't worried about Funk. I can shut him right down with some stuff I got over here. They don't even need to shake nothing at me. I ain't scared, as I say. Yeah, and I agree, Stephen. Some booze probably could ruin that mix. I'm not that. I certainly don't know how to mix liquors and stuff, but my
Slip a
mama
little shine
was
in there.
she was a blended whiskey person, and so you could take a little cap full of her whiskey and put it in. And she always mixed it with Coke, and so we would like about twice a year we go in there sneak us a drink. About 8 of us drink out of that one drink. thought we were higher and I'll get out, but we couldn't do much because she only bought like 1 or 2 bottles a year, so she didn't drink much. She knew what was in that bottle. You didn't mess with it. If you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. That's right. And that's
Eddie,
why
are you okay?
that's why Peplin's doing it now. He liked it, so he's putting a ring on it.
Yeah.
I think Eddie's drinking that margarita he was talking about.
Yeah, Eddie's talking to himself.
Something.
Yeah, sounds like it. Oh Lord. You
Or
just
you
never
drank too
know.
much fish tank water or something.
So I've got a margarita right here.
In the green solo cup.
Yeah, I chose green today. Normally it's like pink or orange. I got a big party pack of all different cups.
Now see, I would never dare drink on stream. I don't mind making a fool of myself when I cause it to happen, but I don't want to make a fool of myself because I wasn't aware of what I was doing. I like to control the madness.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah.
That Mark got it. Mark nailed it.
It takes a lot to get me.
No, you got to look up a little higher. The Vibes just proposed to Didi.
Oh,
That's right. He'd be wearing that cowboy hat.
he's got his boots on.
Yeah, he'd be having to get on the back of my horse. We'd be riding off into the, in the sunset.
He'd be riding on the back.
And he'd be like, "Can we stop for cottage cheese?" And I'd have to leave him wherever I left him at.
He
Do you
remind
get
me of
the
that
Tahoe
scene
and
of
the cottage?
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. He's like, where'd she go? And all he can see is dust. And hear clippity cloppity clippity cloppity. I'm gone. No cottage cheese here.
I thought you were going to say vibes remind you of the campfire scene, but we'll leave that alone.
What? What? You can't leave it alone. You brought it up.
I don't
It's
want to
requirement.
too much. Oh man.
Well,
I
at
think
least you
that's
didn't say.
YouTube safe.
Never mind. I ain't gonna go there myself.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of decency in me.
Yeah, it's not 1 o'clock in the morning yet, so
Yeah.
we'll calm down.
I have never not drank while live streaming. Yeah. Whip started at 7 o'clock yesterday, he said. I don't know how you can
Well,
do it.
that was why Andy Woods quit doing vids, because he had to drink before he could get on video.
I'd be keeled over by 10 o'clock in the morning if I did that.
Oh, it helps.
No, I would never see the afternoon. No, I can't do it. But yeah, there's you can do it. And if you're still going from the night before and you haven't stopped, maybe if you can hold and hang with all
Just
that.
roll it over.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, bring a flashlight because horses don't have headlights. But if you're trying to leave them in the dust, June, you don't want them to even see no reflection. I did buy a little thing of cottage cheese Friday for Butterfly. It had the strawberries on top. Thinking she likes to try stuff sometimes. And I said, well, maybe she'll eat that. And I went in there to get something out the refrigerator and I looked at it been opened, but it was right back in there. She tried one spoonful. And I was like, okay, I can throw that away. I'm not going to eat it. I don't know how you can, but it's an acquired taste.
I'll eat
I
it
don't
with
like
grapes.
I don't like feta cheese and stuff like that either. Blue cheese, I don't like blue cheese. Too strong.
I don't like blue cheese, but I'll have feta cheese on like a salad.
If it's a little teeny pieces, but if it's a big old chunk,
Yeah.
no.
Blue cheese.
I don't do big chunks.
At least it didn't Limburger
Nope.
or Souse.
I'm the guy that goes in the restaurant and says, just skip the salad. Where's that burger with the jalapenos and the bacon, and bring that out now.
Salad bar? I didn't come here for no salad bar.
Yeah, I didn't go for no salad bar.
That's like we go down to Myrtle Beach to the Calabash restaurant, and it's $50 a plate, and it's all you can eat buffet. So if you get a plate of salad, that's a $50 salad. And what I put on my salad will be like lettuce, tomato, cucumbers, the little things you put in a garden salad maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
And if that's all you eat, that's $50 for that. So I did learn how to eat crab legs and stuff. And now, I don't mess with the salad there. I go straight for the crab legs and
straight for the expensive stuff.
Go ahead and get my money's worth, and then I might add something extra on the end. But you go ahead and get that other stuff because that's a lot of money. Plus, it takes us about 3.5 hours to get down there. 3.5 hours back.
By the time you get back home, you're hungry again.
No, you'll be so full, you'll be almost sick all whole way home, and but we don't do it very often. But that's his favorite thing, and like no lettuce volume. Have y'all ever been to a Rio's?
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to a Brazilian style, yeah, but not a Rio's.
I've been to Rio in it was in Korea, but it's a Brazilian steakhouse named Rio.
They bring it out and cut it off in front of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's another thing too. Don't waste your time on a salad.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just looking the wrong way, they'll come in and bringing you more. It's like, okay, stop. Well, they like to chop that stuff off.
Yep.
And And then you're about sick by the time you go out of there too. But you've had a good plate full of food or two.
I'm looking for one of those near me now. Now I'm getting memories of that.
Not really a whole lot of them around.
Nuh-uh. Texas de Brazil. Yeah, and it's good flavored food too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And and if you don't want to eat pork, you got plenty of something else that you can eat. So you can do whatever you want to, but that's also all the way in Myrtle Beach. So we don't have anything like that in this half of the state. I'll say this, and of course our state is wide, so takes a long time to go across our state. That's like where the expo thing is in February. That takes me as long to almost get to that as it would to go to the Clash in Pennsylvania.
Which one?
That thing that they do our first week of February down by Charlotte.
Aquatic Expo.
Yeah.
I'm going. It's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's almost about the same amount of time for me to drive, and it's
you
in my state. No.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one in KC.
Away, I might would, but that's just too long one way and too tiring.
I'll be at the Aquatic Expo. It's in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. And well, maybe one day, but I'd have to work it in with another trip. But see, the kids in school, so we already missed time for the classes. We have to take her with us, so I can't pull her out, but just so much. Well, I think it's technically in North Carolina. Well, the old location was in North Carolina, correct? But people say it's in South Carolina, but I think it's like technically North Carolina. But since they've moved it, I don't really know exactly what state it's in.
It says it's at the River Place Expo Center, 453 Glenwood, First Drive, Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Okay, so it's on that side. But the one that was in Charlotte was in North Carolina, but it's like so close to the line, I guess a lot of people thought it was, it's just across the state line.
I'm looking it up right now.
And to me, that's a hard trip for some reason, that when you go west in North Carolina, for me. I don't mind going north and south, but just a long, hard trip.
Oh, 3.5 hours for me.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Not bad.
Yeah, 3.5 to 4, I would like, okay, I can do that. But it's a good 6, 7, 8 with us having to stop and all that. It's just a whole day of driving.
Driving a Hemi's what, like 2.5 hours?
Yeah, I might go both days. It's only 3 hours. I might just not get a hotel and just go back and forth.
Yeah, but if your wife's driving, Curtis, it'll be an hour and 45 minutes.
Probably. There's a reason I watch YouTube and have earbuds in when she drives.
Is there like any big public aquariums up there? Because I might just get a hotel and then go check out those places on Sunday.
I don't know.
I know South Carolina.
The times that we always went to like Carowinds and that kind of stuff. Back when I had kids in my first round.
Yeah, Carowinds.
That I raced. We would go up there for that, and Chimney Rock and those kinds of places.
Just be ready to get wet if you go to Carowinds.
Absolutely.
What's that? What's that place?
It's the Looney Tunes version of an amusement park. So it's
oh boy.
Yeah, it's awesome though. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been in many, many, many years, but they had the first roller coaster I ever rode where you sat and you were attached on the rail above you. So that when you run on the curves, your cart swung out and it would spin you around upside. Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
They did have a ride where if you were riding in the cars, you could squirt the crowd as you came around.
Yeah. If they
But-
were up on that bridge overhead, standing there taking
But the-
pictures.
But the people in the crowd had like water cannons to shoot back at you, so it was like a war every time you came around the corner.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's what the Six Flags near us. They've got like the log ride, and then they've got the bridge over it where people have like the guns and they can blast everybody.
Well, back then they didn't have that. People would just stand up there with the cameras and wait for their kids to come by and take pictures. But the way those logs would hit, it would splash.
Oh,
them. And because it back then you ruined your camera
Oh yeah.
because you had regular cameras and stuff back then.
SC says it's at the same exit, Carowinds, and
Okay.
so I'm sure you'll see it when you go by.
Yeah, my camera's not waterproof. I'll keep that away.
Yeah, you have a nice one. Are you going to the Clash?
I think so. It's too far away for me to reserve days off for work yet,
Uh-huh.
but I'm probably gonna just go ahead and reserve a hotel and everything, and 'cause I want to go, and I got some friends that want to go too. So
Mm.
I think I'm gonna do it this year, and I'll probably just cut out the late fall Aquashella, because I'll do like spring Aquashella, and then I'll do the Clash in the fall.
Mm. We might have to try to bend you to take some pictures of Roxanne and Peplin.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
If you have a good
I do
camera.
I do wedding photography and stuff too. So
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, there you go. That'll hook
You
them
don't
up.
mind it. Bring your camera. We're looking. Geek Boy is going to video it for us,
okay.
but they want some pictures too. But,
Uh-oh. Is Geek Boy going to be talking while he's videoing? Because you might have to like do a little editing there.
I don't know if he's bringing his ride thing.
Never know
Yeah.
about old Charles.
But hey, look, he's one of them geeks too. He's got all kinds of stuff, and he said, "Oh, you need a tripod? Whip it out. You needed this? Oh, whip it out."
hmm
Carries his
You
own
can't
hot
see-
box.
I've got a big metal shelf right here, and it's got like 3 or 4 tiers, and it's all different tripods and like camera lights
Oh.
and stuff.
Oh,
You can't see it. Maybe I can get a reflection on my phone. There, see it? I'm using like video lights and stuff.
Oh yeah, you got for real lights.
Yeah, I set stuff up for like weddings and stuff all the time.
Nice, thank you. They have a little YouTube room, and it's basically like got a conference room table in it, and they had brought in, just a regular little ring light where you can attach the camera. I mean, your phone up in there and all, and they had it set up, and they had to run the line on the floor to plug it in.
Yeah.
So you can plug in your laptops and stuff, and yes, I stumbled over the daggone thing, and I knew it was there when we were in there, but lo and
They didn't
behold,
tape it down.
it was taped down, but it wasn't. You got the line that comes up from the floor to the table.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So if your foot hits it just right, you're still going to hit it. Well, before I even went in there, I'd already heard, oops. I think Rico and Ed and Whip was in there, and just trying to walk around and moving the chairs out the way and all this stuff because it's very tight in there. Whip and tripped somehow or another, hit something and broke the person's ring light at the Clash that had lent it for everybody to use it. Oh, lo, Whip had one with him to replace it, just like the one that got broke. So he was the hero with that, And I know Whip didn't mean it, but heck, I tripped over that line 2 or 3 times, and I was 4 hours into knowing it was there. And I looked at it, I saw it, but if you went around that table, it was real easy to hit it. So, but yeah, things get broken sometimes, but it's a good thing he's a geek because he has all kinds of stuff in his bag.
Right.
But he's flying, so he won't be bringing a lot of stuff. They have to, come Colorado.
Does that mean the barbecue's officially on, Miss Roxanne?
They are having that too.
I need to know that date.
Yeah, they got Jeff started a Google form. He's already on it, and at first, she said they would do it the years off, clash some, then that one next, but I don't know. They're doing it both. They're going to be busy from August to, August 2nd for the barbecue.
August 2nd.
And Roxanne, since you're here, are we doing Fishmas in July this year? Since you have so much going on? But if that is, we start that March, April, when we start prepping for that.
Listen to Mexicali.
Hey.
Mexicali's just upset because he's not up here.
The Queen and her Three Stooges.
Yeah. I love me some Jorge, though. And I like the way somebody spelled it, whore. Hey, whore.
Sarah did that. That's freaking awesome.
Sarah's a troublemaker.
Yep.
We love Sarah, though.
Yeah, he did. And, and it was an easy thing to do with because I got tripped up on it, too.
Yeah. Well, if she's doing that, I can probably make that.
Yeah. And she said we will be doing Fishmas in July because they might riot. That's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work.
I looked it up from my son's house. From my son's house that I can stay for free at. It's 6 hours to Foxy's house.
Oh yeah. And there's a daytime thing.
Yeah.
But there's a hotel down the road, so you can stay like one night, so you can rest up and you get on the road next morning. Easy enough. And look, they got an airport attaches to their backyard. Fly in.
I'll just go out and get in my plane and fly it.
Are they attached to an airport? Because I could have someone fly me.
Their properties, and I don't know what what
like next door,
but it's right there.
Okay.
Their property lines meet up. Yeah, I mean Eduardo flew in 1 year.
This is some more stuff we need to make plans for because we were making plans for San Antonio last night. We need to make plans for this. Who's staying with who and who's going where.
So no Aquashella this year?
Who knows? They never announced.
And
they are doing it, but I'm only going to go to one this year.
They have hookups for camping spots, so on their property too. So, and Foxy's 3 hours north of Whip.
What month are they going to do that?
It's August. What did she say? August
2nd.
On her birthday. See, we do Fishmas in July, like it's her birthday month, but her birthday is technically August the 2nd. But it's Christmas in July, so we have to kind of do it that way. So we have to pretend Santa's coming twice a year.
Maybe I could fly.
Santa's really lucky at our houses. He usually only gets to come once a year.
Well, if I take my SUV, I'll just stay in my SUV. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all folded down, got a bed in the back.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what flying with camping gear would be like.
Me either.
If you want to stay in a hotel, we can just get a room and I can pick you up at the airport.
Yeah. So all my camping stuff smells like gunpowder.
Go through TSA and they'll be like, what the hell?
Right.
Look, he'll be over there pressed up against the wall somewhere just to start with, just by the smell.
And you feel this glove coming on.
Yeah, I probably have a whole bunch of like 5.56 shells in my tent.
Whoops.
I used to love back when they first started doing some frisking around here in the clubs. It was just for the guys. And so, because you have to stand in line, I'll be like, all right, I'm ready for my turn. And they're like, no, you women, we don't do the left. I said, no, I might be a criminal. and they're like scared to death to do it because it just makes everybody laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they randomly pick people out of line, right?
What, at TSA?
Yeah, they picked this guy. He had to have been 90 years old. And they're leading him away where you got to take your shoes off and the whole nine. And I'm like, hey, just take me. Leave this dude alone. And they're like, well, now you can come too. I was like, here we go. I guess I made a new friend. We're going to go hang out together.
Yeah.
I've never flown.
Never flown, so.
You've never flown?
Uh-uh.
I
really?
I fly too much.
Are you like afraid of planes, or
Well, all my life, 99% of my family was where I lived.
mm-hmm.
And I had one set of family members in Pennsylvania, and we would everybody in the family would go up there in the summer and visit, and there'd be people laying all over the floor and everywhere else because we'd all go at one time, and so that was every vacation. It was to go to Pennsylvania, and we didn't go anywhere else. And maybe when I was 12, we went to Grandfather Mountain and all that, but that's the only vacations that we ever went to, because she was, my friend, my first playmate. And so I was tickled to death to go. Now they would come down here a lot too, but it was fun to go up there. They had the mountains, and they had things we could do, sledding and that kind of stuff in the winter when we got to go. But so we never had a reason to fly.
Okay.
And now my husband says he's going to take me because he's former Marine, so he's been everywhere. But we've got the little star, on our driver's license. Oh, I got to go get my driver's license now. I keep forgetting. But to go, and then the COVID thing hit, and people didn't go, and so just haven't had a chance to go. But I wouldn't want to fly to Roxanne's for the first time flying by myself.
I miss flying so much.
But I would go. If it was needed, necessary, whatever, I would do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wouldn't want to go by myself.
I go by myself 3 or 4 times a year.
Now, if I did it once, it might be okay to do it the second time by myself. But the first time, I would want somebody there that could suffer with me. I don't want to suffer by myself. Somebody's got to be there with me. Oh Lord, Whip says that they pulled his dad, 82 years old, struggles to stand, and they were making him do the dog and pony show, and he almost went to jail that day.
I think I would have went to jail.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's what I was trying to do for that guy I was with. Is like, leave that dude alone. Just,
Yeah, a coward picks on those kind of people.
Well, that's TSA, so.
Yeah.
I noticed at the prison, some of my coworkers, they only challenged inmates that would not fight back.
Yeah.
And then, they were all this and that. You're working down a broken down person. They didn't go after the man with all the muscles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that tells me what kind of man they are. They're not impressing anybody. They think they are, but you can see right through that. Like, you ain't nothing.
They just want someone they can push around.
I think you should fly into Morgantown, because that's probably like about a 20-passenger plane lands there.
Well, we don't want to because we need a vehicle. We're there for 5 days.
Yeah.
And with Butterfly and Tony don't do the fish thing, so they're going to have to go in and out. So we need vehicles, and it's too much to rent nowadays. If they were back like they were before COVID, he would probably rent one. But see, Jenna's got it right. Matt needs to fly out here, pick me up, and then us fly to the next location.
I would want to see video proof of that Matt was in a crowd, especially in a big-ass airport.
Well, yeah, and and he loves to travel and be around people.
Yeah, he does.
So, yeah, Matt, you should do that. You should help a sister out. I would do it for you if the roles were reversed. So, just be willing to do for others. And I wouldn't care if they searched my stuff. That kind of stuff wouldn't bother me. It's like, hey, go for it. Do it. And I'm going to do my best to embarrass them. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hated it when we had to pat down the family members coming to visit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had to pat down each other. They would pull somebody off the shift, and you had to go and pat down the next shift coming in. Which, you know what? If I was going to bring something in, I'm going to pack it where I know nobody's scared. Everybody's scared to touch. That's what I'm going to do if I'm going to be a criminal. I'm not going to put it in my pants pocket or a shoe. It's like, duh. Women have all kinds of ways to carry stuff in, because most of those people are scared to touch and do what they need to do to check them, which, however I was trained, that's what I did. And no, I weren't enjoying it, but it's like, it's not going to be on me. I'm going to do all that I can to do the right thing. But I used to love going to recertification because we had to learn to take downs and, and how to defend yourself if you got knocked down to the ground so somebody could come and help you, because we would be in a building with 134 inmates by ourselves and a little thing of pepper spray back in the day. So, killers and everybody in there, and everybody has access to you all at one time. And you have a little radio that don't work half the time. So if they got you knocked down, you had to know how to try to survive a few minutes if you had a chance to call for help. And as a female, you might have to fight a little bit harder. But so we'd have to train and and learn takedowns and all that stuff. So they paired you up, like whoever was standing next to each other kind of got, and you try to stand by somebody that weren't going to be too bad. You know what I mean? So I had one of my coworkers, and he was a decent sized fella. So I had to do the thing where I had to crawl on top and be the attacker, and he had to bridge and keep me off and all that. So when it was my turn, I'm on the bottom, he's on top of me. I just said very quietly in his ear, I said, "I better not feel no wood." He lost all composure. And from then, it just messed him up the whole time, so I was able to handle him very easily. Yeah, we have caves everywhere to hide stuff. But hey, the boys pack it now too. They pack stuff too. And yeah, but
now's when you need Jimmy. Jimmy would be right involved.
Oh, yes.
But it was life and death. You had to learn this stuff. So I am going to train to learn to be, if it really happens. They want you to pretend so you don't hurt each other. It's like, I can't say, "Oh, Mr. Inmate, touch me right here so you don't hurt me." I can't do that. He's going to hurt me. I have to know how to hurt back. And so, you get a little aggressive sometimes. Just survival. And I got assaulted twice when I worked there. So one was of a sexual assault, which, he patted my buttocks, but he hit them both. He double tapped. So he said that he didn't see me. It's like, bull crap. So he got to go take a ride, locked up somewhere in a new prison. And as he was leaving, I opened the gate to let the van through to transport him. And he was going, "F you." And so I'm like, "Wait. Glad to help you out, buddy." And I did get my hand busted open one time on a steel door frame. But
the smash.
It was fun. It was fun, though. It was fun. I got him, He, I'd seen him stuff something down between his pants and his long johns. That way it wouldn't be in his pocket. And the poor male officer that was supposed to be searching him, I said, "He's got something between." I told him, I said, "He's right there in that leg," because I wasn't allowed to go through the underwear and whatnot. But I said, "It's right there." I saw him put it in there. Well, the boy was sitting on a bench that we pulled him into operations and had him right there. And I was standing at the steel door. The male officer was going to pat him down. And when he went to tell him to come on up, the boy came up hard, knocked him out the way. And so now I'm between him and the door. And he's 6 foot something. And so he hit me, and that's what made my hand snap against that door, and it busted my hand open. And it did hurt. I ain't lying. It did hurt. I felt it when it did it, and you heard it when it hit. And but I was able to wrestle him. Well, finally he twisted around enough and managed to knock the door open. Well, you had like 4 walking steps, and you would take a right around a little fenced-in area that had some drink boxes in it, so we could have a snack. But the fence that came out of the right by the door was only a partial fence. It was only like the last 1.5 feet, and it had a flat front. And as he ran out the door, all I could do was reach and grab, and I caught him by the T-shirt, and he's running in place. Mm-hmm. And I sort of squatted, and I used all my weight that I could, to pull him down, but he was stronger and bigger. no male, the two males behind me hadn't come out the door yet. I'm still holding him. It's like, man, I ain't gonna be able to hold him long. And if he gets around that corner, I'll never catch that jackrabbit. So I said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bump into him and I'm gonna make him hit that post. And maybe by then somebody will come and help me. And so about the time I'd made my move, Tim came out the door and had the same idea. So we all three, bam, bam, bam. And so I got squished and then got hit again. And my hand got tore on the fence with all the splinters. My hands took a beating that day, but we got his little ass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't get by with it. But the sergeant took him to strip search him and let him walk in the grass away from him. It's like, and it wasn't there when he got there. It's like, man, you know, all this for nothing because you're too damn sorry to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you had to deal with sometimes. But he lost it because he managed to lose it in the grass somewhere, and of course he didn't. He had to go to SEG after that, and get charged with assault. But yeah, so I was on these 2 times. You know, I was threatened a couple of times. I'm gonna bust that head open down to the white meat and all that. So you just have to stand there and like, you can't challenge them. You can't do that in the prison, but you can do. You can give them the look like, and what you know, like I'm not scared of you. I've been threatened so many times, but it's like, and I'm surprised I didn't get hurt. I'm surprised I really didn't get hurt, but I was lucky. I was just lucky.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, you know, I was one of the ones that I followed the rules. And like cleanup time, everybody has to go outside for 2 hours at least while the janitor's clean. There was male officers that could not clear out a dormitory by themselves. I could clear out dorms most of the time. And if I couldn't, that inmate was going to end up in SEG because he was going to do something really stupid. But I could get them cleared out by myself. My second officer wouldn't even be in there, and I could do it. And yeah, I might have to go in there and like stand there like, you know, I'm not going away. We're going to get this done. But I worked 30 years, and I never had a write-up for anything. But I always did what I was supposed to do. If the policy said do this, that's what I did. So I was covered under their umbrella. Oh, I had one inmate wrote a grievance, said I didn't like black people. Well, I'm married to a black man, so I liked at least one, you know. But of course, the management laughed about it because it's like, you know, and you're friendly with everybody, and so they didn't even make me make a response back to that one. And normally you have to respond back to every last one. So then he changed. I didn't like black people with dreads. Well, my stepson has dreads. It comes down to his rear end, you know. So it was like
some bullshit complaints.
Stuff. Yeah. All because he got locked up behind saying he wasn't going to do something, and the officer couldn't handle him. I had to go over there and help her. You know, and then he threatened me. And of course, I ended up in SEG, and of course, then you know all these grievances came out. Like she did this, she did that. So, yeah, you always had to. But I didn't ever have to convince my superiors that when I said this is what I did or this is what I didn't do, they never questioned me. They knew I wouldn't. They knew I wasn't going to lie to them, and I was privy to lots of information a lot of people didn't know, and in my position, I shouldn't have known. But they knew if they said it, I wasn't going to repeat it. So, you know, you get to hear all kinds of stuff you're not supposed to, but it was fun. I wouldn't do it again, and I wouldn't recommend anybody go do it. Would not. So it was just my time, and you know, I lucked up. I could have not made it. Because we did have one lady that they did kill her. Not on my prison, but a lot of the inmates had been in my prison and had moved on to another prison.
Okay.
But they killed her. They set her up, set a trash can on fire, and when she came in to put the fire out with the fire extinguisher, he grabbed a fire extinguisher and killed her with the fire extinguisher, just like that, because he was mad at her. Young girl with 2 kids. So you had to watch your back. But I had some good inmates that if an inmate got sassy with me, they take him out back, have a chat with him. It wouldn't be long. He'd be coming back in apologizing too. So if you treat people right, they'll treat you right too most of the time.
Right.
No matter what walk of life you're in. There were some good people there. There were some bad people there. And there were some stupid people there that just did stupid stuff, that weren't bad people. But I was in a prison where there was guns on the outside of the fence. It wasn't a walk in the park. I also worked in one of those to start with. They walked outside to go to school every day outside the fence. But yeah, this one here was under the gun. I did get to post security one time. Isaiah Washington, that used to be on Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
He was in a little movie that was filmed down in that area, Wilmington and all close by there. And they had made arrangements to come and use our prison gate and stuff. Well, anytime that gate opens, you're gonna have an officer with shotgun and a weapon. You're gonna have all that. That's got to happen if that gate opens for any reason. And there's 2 or 3 passages before that final one would open. But if it cracks, you're gonna have a shotgun on it. So they wanted to come out like he was supposed to stand in what we call the sally port. Even though we would always have a vehicle, if it was being true, there would be a vehicle in there. But he stood in there, the gate opened, he steps out, and he scans the parking lot looking for his ride. And I swear, it looked like he was really looking hard to find this person. It's so cool how it looks versus what they do. And I had to stand there for like an hour and a half with this heavy shotgun right here, port of arms, like no holder for it, no nothing, just hold it. And it was cold. I didn't have a jacket because they said, run to the gatehouse. I didn't know what I was going there for or nothing. It was just like, oh, now you're going to be here for an hour and a half. No coat or nothing. It was cold too. But that was kind of cool, And then I did see the movie and it's like, oh yeah, I remember this part. I remember that part. Very super nice guy, though. And he's a little bitty fella.
Oh, yeah?
I thought he was tall.
Did they show you on the movie?
No, they weren't allowed to. But they showed a fake guard.
Right.
But they couldn't show me. And, I wasn't part of their cast. But there was like 30-some people there just to do that little teeny tiny scene that probably really only took 3 minutes. Because they did it. They talked about it. They did it. And there was all kinds of boomsticks everywhere. And he looks to be about like 5'2", 5'3", maybe 85, 90 pounds. But, I just thought he'd be a tall, like 6 foot tall guy. But by the way, they always showed him, on Grey's Anatomy, just looked tall and skinny. But no. So, well, Whip's gone to bed.
Yeah, I think we ought to call her a night.
Because if not, I'll keep talking as long as you leave me up here. I feel like I got to kill dead space. Roxanne don't like dead space. So if you don't talk, I'm going to talk till we shut her down.
Oh, it's all right. Thank everybody for coming in. Didi, thanks for coming up.
Sure.
Alex, Curtis.
Sorry, everybody.
Oh, no. We got to see Didi in the Raw tonight.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, and I knew I was going to. I mean, I hate Jimmy wasn't here so I could bust his balls, but,
yeah,
all for the best.
Here too.
There's always next time, too, Didi.
So,
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.